Seeing just broad-based declines across all of the major technology sectors. Apple's under pressure.
Most students won't remember the 2008-9 market crash, but it was bad. The crash occurred at the peak of an 18-month recession lasting from December 2007 to June 2009, fueled by the housing crisis predicted by this guy. Big up the Big Short. The recession wiped out $19.2 trillion in wealth. GDP fell by 4.3%. Unemployment reached a staggering high of 10%, and the US lost 7.4 trillion in stock wealth. Let's fast forward to 2022. Now, a recession is defined as a period of temporary economic decline during which trade and industrial activity are reduced, generally identified by a fall in GDP in 2 successive quarters. And GDP at the end of Q1 of 2022 was negative 1.5%. Not good. So that makes it seem as if a recession is a matter of when, not a matter of if. If you're new, I'm Dennis, a second year undergraduate at Imperial College London, and my channel is tailored around student advice, tips and hacks. Although all ages are welcome, you don't have to be a student. As you can probably guess from the title of the video, the thumbnail and the intro, this is about the recession and how students can deal with it. Now, I myself am not a financial advisor. These are tips that I've garnered from entrepreneurs, financial experts that I will be implementing myself. Okay, so the first thing to do in a recession for a student is start a side hustle. Ideally, this should start just before the recession, in fact, so you have some money to play with when the recession hits. These side hustles should start generating you some great disposable income, or develop a skill like coding, which will be extremely valuable in your life. Now, as a student, low maintenance would be absolutely ideal, and I'm gonna drop a card right here of a video of the 4 best side hustles I made for students very recently. Okay, so when you have your side hustle in place and you're starting to get some extra money, let's talk about stage 2 of the process: investing. Now, I know what some people are thinking. Oh, it's a bear market, it's a crash, market's in the red. Why would I invest in these times? Well, ladies and gents, that means it is actually the perfect time to invest. In fact, don't take my word for it. Let Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, explain to you why.
It's right after a crash. I made more money after 2008 than I ever in my whole entire life because everybody was hiding like little cockroaches.
Wow, you made more money after 2008 than your entire life.
And then let me superimpose that with billionaire investing mogul Warren Buffett's world famous quote right here: be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful. And people are hella fearful right now. Now, I know some people will be saying, why is this video for students? Anyone at any age can invest. And if anything, students should wait till they get a job so they can start investing. And although some people do think like that, here are 3 reasons why you shouldn't do that. Reason number 1, everyone is fearful right now. Millionaires are made when they buy, not when they sell. Secondly, here's a chart to show someone investing at 20 years old versus 30 years old. Look at the compound interest they're gaining. It is exponential. Starting earlier is always the best idea. Thirdly, look, you're going to make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes investing, especially at the start. And I'd rather lose my money as a teenager, as a student, and lose maybe tens to hundreds of pounds rather than as an adult and lose thousands of pounds. So how should you get started? Well, I recommend a stocks and shares ISA if you live in the UK and a Roth IRA if you live in the US. You need to be at least 18 to open this. This means for each tax year, which starts in April, you have £20,000 to invest in your stocks and shares ISA, and every gain you make is tax free. Some good investing websites include AJ Bell, Vanguard, Hargreaves Lansdown, but I recommend Freetrade for those of you in the UK. In fact, I have a referral code for Freetrade, which will start you off with a free share between £3 and £200. In fact, for a limited time, Freetrade are offering 2 shares instead of 1. Now, I would actually put this in my description, but for some reason, Freetrade bans you putting your referral code in social media descriptions. So DM me on Instagram and I'll hit you with your free code right there. Freetrade allows you to get a stocks and shares ISA for £3 a month. You can use their general investment account, although you will be limited to capital gains tax, which means any profits you make over £12,300, you'll have to pay CGT on. Unfortunately, I am not a financial advisor, so I am not qualified to legally tell you what to invest in. However, these are 4 tips that should help you build your portfolio. The first tip is look at exchange traded funds, or ETFs. These are a collection of companies, something like the S&P 500 for example. So rather than banking all your money on one company like an Apple or a Tesla for example, you get to invest into the whole market and then you will experience steady growth and have a less chance of risk. My second tip is don't invest any money you cannot afford to lose, and invest money you know you will not need to take out of your investment account for at least 5 years. The most growth happens over a longer time period. My third tip is always diversify. Diversify in different markets, different industries. This means you are less likely to get wiped out by a crash. And my fourth tip is dollar cost average or pound cost average. Let me show you what I mean with a diagram. As you can see, investing $8,000 in a lump sum investment of a static stock means you actually get 0% return. Whereas if you had invested monthly 8 separate times $1,000 each, you'd be dollar cost averaging into the market and getting an average of the spread, and you'd be making a consistent monthly return on your investment. And if you are really balling, you should start looking at property. This is best to buy just after a crash so you know that you're getting a good deal and the price won't drop further. I hope this video has inspired you to start your investing journey, and remember, millionaires and even billionaires are made in the bear markets, not the bull markets. For those of you that stayed till the end, thank you for watching. As always, if you love student tricks, hacks and tips, this is the place to be, so make sure you subscribe, and I hope to see you lot in the next video.